Yo, YouTube, Cat here checking in with another video. Today we got the GBGxWDS versus Woodland war. Let's kind of get into it. I'm fucking muted.
Today we will talk about the war between the Z and Walker Mill versus Woodland Terrace, aka the O, and the passings of two teen cousins in the Woodland neighborhood. The two teens, Kevin and DeMarcos, were in the Woodland neighborhood on a summer day in 2023 when a car pulls up, causing them to pass away. The two teens' mothers were blood sisters. Patricia Pinckney and Tasha Jones lost their sons to gun violence on June 19th. And in addition to grieving, they have had to spend much of the last 2 weeks stressed about money. The two women, who are sisters, were of course unprepared for the grief of losing their sons, 15-year-old DeMarcos Pinckney and 17-year-old Kevin Mason, two young cousins who have 7 combined siblings, along with a tight-knit group of neighborhood friends. The two were killed by gunfire directed towards a residence on Langston Place SE following a Father's Day celebration. The two boys were standing outside, and authorities have not said whether they were targeted or not. Their mothers were also unprepared for all of the costs that have come in the aftermath of the tragedy. The two sisters are short about $20,000 for the joint burial of their boys, and a fundraiser has been set up online to help them raise money. I understand we should all have life insurance, but we don't expect nothing like this to happen, says Pinckney, DeMarcos' mother. This is an extra layer of hurt because, on top of going through burying your child, you also have to worry about how you're going to come up with the money to bury your child. Their struggle is a common one in DC and across the country, as funerals have become costly and families are often forced to make decisions about arrangements under emotional duress and time pressure. According to a survey of DC funeral homes conducted by DC's Attorney General's office back in 2017, basic service fees for funerals ranged anywhere from $965 to $9,200, but other costs, like embalming fees and caskets, can tally anywhere from $350,000 to $125,000 at the high end. Outer burial containers, which enclose caskets in the ground and are sometimes required by cemeteries, add an additional cost, and some funeral homes charge extra for visitation. The assistance from DC Superior Court's Crime Victims Compensation Program is frequently not enough to cover the full cost of what families consider a proper send-off, advocates say. As a result, community groups often fill in where government funds fall short, or in cases where a family doesn't qualify for crime victims' assistance. In 2020 and 2021, DC's Black Lives Matter chapter spent $350,000 on funeral costs for families, including many who lost loved ones to gun violence, according to an impact report the organization released earlier this year. Both Pinckney and Jones say they were surprised by just how many items had a cost attached. They have to pay for the burial site. There are fees associated with paperwork. There are fees attached to have extra men to help carry the caskets. And the burial costs they're fundraising to cover doesn't even include the headstones. One of the boys' mentors has offered to help with that particular cost. Kevin and DeMarcos qualified for assistance through the DC Superior Court Fund, so their mothers each got $10,000 from the city to cover funeral costs. But they say it's only enough money to cover their joint funeral, and not the burials. And the clock is ticking. The ceremony is scheduled for Friday, and the deadline to come up with the remaining money is Wednesday. If they don't, they'll have to push the funeral back. Co-workers at Audi Field, where the two sisters work, have also helped out. The Creative School, an organization that provides artistic mentorship and opportunities to young people in Southeast DC, has also set up the fundraiser because DeMarcos and Kevin were both involved with the group. And the family has received other private donations, but they're concerned they may still fall short. I don't want them to sit any longer, Jones says, because if they sit any longer, they're not going to look the same. And I don't want to have to keep waiting. We have to go to organizations, get fundraisers and stuff like that just to help bury our children, Pinckney says. And it shouldn't be like that. I think we just need to get more organizations to help. It's added stress to the pain of loss, which has already been devastating. Particularly, Jones says, because she had been trying to leave the neighborhood where her son was killed. She has witnessed other recent shootings on the grounds, right in front of their apartment building. I tried to keep Kevin safe, Jones says. I even tried to get him away from there. I was working 2-3 jobs to try to get away from there. We wasn't the type of parents who didn't care about our kids. We made sure we kept an eye on them, adds Pinckney.
Two teenagers killed in a wave of gun violence unfolding over Father's Day weekend. They were 2 of 4 victims who lost their lives in at least 8 separate shootings early Saturday through this morning. News 4's Darcy Spencer has more tonight from those who knew the teenagers and the frustration being felt in the community after this outbreak of violence.
Stepped up police presence in the Southeast D.C. neighborhood where 2 teens, cousins, were shot and killed. A bullet hole visible in the glass of the apartment building on Langston Place where the juveniles were killed Sunday night. The victims, 15-year-old DeMarcos Pinckney and 17-year-old Kevin Mason, they lived near the shooting scene. The gunfire erupted about 8:45 Sunday night. Police have made no arrests. From early Saturday to Monday morning, there were 11 shooting victims in D.C. 4 of them were killed. 3 were juveniles. Ward 8 Councilmember Trayon White expressed frustration with the gun violence and questioned how young people are getting guns.
The school just let out for some of the schools. We can imagine what's going to be happening. People just, it's not safe in D.C. And so we're going to ask that people keep their kids in, and so we create these safe environments, man, for our youth.
Pinckney just completed 9th grade at Digital Pioneers Academy in Southeast last week. He was the 3rd student from the charter school to be shot and killed just this school year. He was part of the school's newly formed football team and just attended an event last week with the Commanders announcing support to get the football program up and running. The school founder said in part, Marcos was a devoted friend and beloved member of our school community. We will miss him dearly. The school also lost a teacher earlier this year, Keenan Anderson. Grief counselors will be on hand at the school Tuesday for any student who needs someone to talk to. D.C. police are offering up to $50,000 in reward money for help in solving these 2 homicide cases. In Southeast, Darcy Spencer, News 4.
5 shootings happened last night in Southeast D.C. over the span of 2 hours and within just 2 miles of each other.
Yeah, and tonight we're learning more about the victims, including these 2 young men, 18-year-old Kevin Mason and 15-year-old DeMarcos Pinckney. The cousins were shot last night at around 8:45 on Langston Place, just off 25th Street in Southeast. They both later died.
Our Melissa Kim is live in the community just dealing with this unimaginable loss. So, Melissa, a lot of these people are telling you that they just don't feel safe in their own homes.
Yeah, Adam and Lorenzo, I mean, this has just been an absolutely heartbreaking nightmare for this community. Those 2 boys, as you mentioned, were cousins. And so now this family here left to deal with the emotional trauma, all this, and grapple everything that's happened.
I hear the mother's cries for her son. It's heartbreaking, man. Honestly, it's an emotional roller coaster, you know. It's traumatic.
Alicia Batchelor, the mother of a 1-year-old girl herself, sharing in the grief of 2 sisters who each lost their sons on Sunday night when the teenage boys were shot and killed right in front of Batchelor's window. 15-year-old DeMarcos Pinckney, a football player on the inaugural team at Digital Pioneers Academy, and his cousin 18-year-old Kevin Mason. Both teenagers were in after-school programs and stayed out of trouble, according to neighbors and friends who came here to offer their support.
It's a family torn apart, you know, by gun violence. And it's something that's real heavy in this area, and I fear for my life, my child's life, my community's life.
We spoke with DeMarco's mom, who was too upset to be interviewed on camera, but she told us she tried to do everything right to make sure her son stayed safe. Batchelor says it wasn't hard to like both of these teens.
They knock on my door, take out my trash for me. I give them a couple of dollars or whatever. So, you know, I'm fond of all the kids here.
And because of that, safety, protection, and police presence, all things that this community says it needs.
You can't even bring your child out to play on the porch or just get some fresh air because you have to worry about whether you're moving fast enough for a gun bullet.
Because as Batchelor says, for far too long, this Langston Place community has felt ignored and forgotten.
Better support in our community. We need people to hear us, hear our cries, hear our voices. Inhumane, honestly, you know, to be in a situation like this.
And I spoke to several community members here, volunteers, people who actually run those programs for kids after school, and they all echo those same sentiments. What they don't want here is for just the city to show up when there's crime or bad things happening, but what they do need is consistency and a place for their kids to go, especially after 7 o'clock at night or when it gets dark, so that they can stay safe. Guys?
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like any way to live where they just are afraid to simply step outside. Melissa, thank you.
You know the sad part, bro, I said this in another video. The sad part is, bro, they kids is safe. They kids don't gotta worry about none of this shit, my nigga. Another sad part is, bro, y'all know who terrorizing these communities. Y'all know who doing it. It's people in y'all community. Fool. It should be nowhere in hell that just cause, man, these niggas be, let's say 16 to like 40. Let's say 40. Bruh, y'all had y'all time. I don't give a fuck if they 16, bro. You had your time, fool. If you got a little ass kid who trying to do the right thing, bruh, y'all get the fuck out the way. Get out the way, bro. Let the children be able to grow up and be whoever they gonna be. But the thing is, y'all don't want to get the fuck out the way. Y'all still want to hang up in the community. Y'all still want to do goofy ass shit. We gonna rob the crap game, then post up on the block. Or we gonna take niggas down over here in our community. We gonna take them down and post up right where we did this shit at. Like, it don't make fucking sense. The things that y'all do, and then be like, well, fuck it, they ain't gonna do nothing. But when a nigga do something, somebody else get hit trying to get at you, bro, come on, fool. Like, it's time for y'all niggas to move out the way, bruh. Like, it's too much shit going on. Like, on a day-to-day occurrence, it's too much shit going on, bro. These two moms, two sisters, trying to bury their kids, have to bury their kids, bro. That's not right, fool. And at a certain point, bro, fuck them niggas, man. Fuck them niggas hanging out on the corner all day, bro. Like, get a life. Get a fucking life. If you still doing the same shit at fucking 16, 17, you 25, you still doing the same shit, bro, get a fucking life. It's time for you to grow your ass up. You living with your mother, it's time for you to grow your ass up. Get the fuck out the house. Pay some bills. Fix your credit. Build some credit. Like, it's time for you to grow up, bro. Like, y'all niggas is moving like little ass boys. Like, dead ass. Like, that shit get irritating after a while. Like, I be looking, bro. I be looking like, Holmes. Like, you niggas is embarrassing. Like, real deal. You, like, the nigga don't, you niggas is embarrassing. Like, fool, who the fuck still doing the same shit like a young nigga? It was cool at 14. When you 21, you still doing the same thing. All right, bro, it's time for you to switch your hustle up, bro. You 25, it's definitely time for you to switch your shit up. You 30, still doing the same thing like you was 16, bro. Something is wrong with you, bro. So you might be off in the head, bro. We got a place for you. Get a nigga the straight jacket. You 40 years old trying to do shit that young niggas is doing. You're the problem. The young niggas is looking up to the older niggas, and the older niggas ain't putting them in no right direction. They ain't telling them nothing. They ain't telling them to do anything. We live in a day and age of the internet. Hey, Shawty, you can do this, bro. The internet, fool. You can go ahead and you can be electronic. You be like, man, bro, you can do anything in the world, bro. Hey, instead of you want to steal cars, bro, how about you learn how to work on cars? We need more mechanics. So that way, by a certain age, shit, I could fund your, if you want to be a mechanic, I could fund you to one day now you can have your own mechanic shop. Oh, bingo. Like, niggas don't think like that, fool. Niggas just want that quick dollar, but they don't want to turn that shit to where it could be, it's generational. This shit be sad, bro. It's the same occasion over and over and over and over again. Like, Mo, you niggas is embarrassing. Like,
Rappers from Walker Mill Road like Trap Hard Swag disses the O in songs a lot, and also mentions Bike Boys a lot in music. And rappers from the Z that have a clique named YGA also disses the O a lot in songs. On KevoGlock's Instagram, he posts his fallen men a lot. And one of the men he posts is a kid who passed away at 11 in 2019 named Karon Brown, and a teen who passed in 2022 named Jockey Snyder, aka KhiRackz.
Begin tonight with a story we talk about all too often: young lives cut short by a rising tide of violence on our streets. But tonight, hope in Southeast DC. Community members gathered in Congress Heights to talk about solutions. It was a bright spot on what would have been a dark day for many of these kids who lost their friend 11-year-old Karon Brown to gun violence 4 years ago.
There was a lot that we could know.
Organizers of Karon Brown Day are seeking to heal the youth impacted by the district's gun violence.
Karon Brown was one of our students of our program, and he was killed right across the street from his school.
The 11-year-old was an innocent bystander who was shot and killed after walking into what police called a Southeast neighborhood conflict 4 years ago.
This day is to honor him, but in the same time, we've lost so many youth right after that.
Kiana Jones chairs the board of the Creative School, a community-based group that provides year-long programs for youth. She says events like the one held Sunday at Sycamore and Oak in Congress Heights build community and at the same time are a space to address safety concerns.
A lot of things that we're dealing with in the city is nobody's listening to our kids.
What have you learned throughout your journey?
Kimonte Coleman is a youth leader at the Creative School who has felt the loss of his peers.
I wish that my peers could have moved out of Southeast before it was too late. Stuff like that. I don't feel safe in my own community now.
Coleman says that keeping young people like him busy and productive will steer them away from violence. It's worked for him as he continues podcasting and helping build a safer Southeast.
Better Southeast, the kid can wake up, come outside with a whole bunch of other kids playing. You can't do that on a regular. There's too many bullets flying. Bullets don't have no names on them.
Police say a juvenile has been shot and killed in Southeast this morning. It happened just before 11:30 on 18th Street and Morris Road. The juvenile died. Police tell us they have a suspect in custody. However, they are not sure if this is the person who shot the victim.
November 26th, 2022, on the 1600 block of Morris Road Southeast. At approximately 11:05 a.m. Saturday, Metropolitan Police Department officers responded to the 1600 block of Morris Road Southeast after receiving a report of a shooting. When they arrived, officers located a juvenile male reportedly moving in and out of consciousness and breathing abnormally, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. DC Fire and EMS then arrived on scene and transported the juvenile to a local hospital where he later died. The juvenile has been identified as 16-year-old Jockey Snyder of Southeast DC. After the shooting, officers reportedly chased several suspects on foot, eventually apprehending one person of interest. In addition, the MPD issued a lookout for a black male wearing a black ski mask, black shirt, and black jeans. It is unclear whether the person of interest in this case, apprehended by the police, is the same individual described in the lookout. The MPD offers awards of $25,000 for information leading to arrests and convictions for homicides committed within the district. As always, if you have a tip, call 1-866-411-TIPS. That's 866-411-8477.
Niggas just gotta get it together, bro. Like, it's to the point where, bro, fool, everybody beefing over nothing. Like, fool, niggas real deal beefing over nothing. Like, goofy shit. Shit that don't even matter. Like, shit don't even equate to nothing. You gonna spend your time in jail for shit that don't equate to nothing. You gonna be like, damn, I killed this nigga over what? Like, and now you in jail for the rest of your life or however long, 20 years, 25, but you know how much, I say this all the time, I don't think y'all understand how long 20 years is. I don't think y'all understand how long that shit really is, bro. Y'all think 20 years, man, I could do 20 years. My nigga, you know how long 20 years is, my nigga? You know what you could be doing in that time frame? Outside? Like, with your freedom? You know what you could be doing with that, bro? 1 year go by quick to us. It go by quick. 1 year go by super fast, bro. But, bruh, let's say you in a room like this, bro, and you can't leave. I know it's smaller than this, but and you can't leave. Ever. No windows. Majority of jails don't have no windows. And if they do, that motherfucker chalked out. Like, you can't see out of it. Like, no fresh air. Who wants that? Like, who want to live like that? Like, bro, that's like dirt on the ground, bro. Niggas step on you like dirt on the ground. Like, you below low. Like, you... Life is about decision making, bro. You don't gotta throw your life away. Like, that's one thing I want y'all to understand. Like, stop throwing y'all life away. A nigga do something to you, you get in a fight, right? You get robbed with anything. I'm just speaking on real street shit. You get robbed, you get in a fight, you get jumped. Bruh, decision making. Just think. If I do something right now, what's gonna be the repercussions? Jail. I smoke a nigga. Do jail time. I can get smoked. You just think. Just sometimes you just gotta think. Nah, I don't think I wanna do any of that shit, bro. I catch him when I catch him. I catch him when I catch him, bro. Whatever happens from there, you don't look for it though. You don't say, all right, well, this happened this day. 4 days later, you just going off impulse. No, I catch you when I catch you. Catch you when I catch you. A year later, nigga forgot. A nigga ain't even knowing that nigga be bullshitting. Nigga bullshitting. He not even, but you remember 2 years down the line, 3, you remember. You don't have to do everything right then and there because you going off impulse. Like, man, or nigga might do something in a crowd of people. You embarrassed. Cool. You gotta learn how to think, bro. Think. You live a lot longer when you think. I ain't trying to come on this joint preaching, bro. I fit the description, bro. You live a lot longer when you think. Nah, I ain't gonna crash. Watch this. And then, hey, see y'all in the next video.